Hey Laney, this is Coach Bot, and I wanted to go over your video from the lesson. I know this is the first video that I've sent to you guys, and this should help out tremendously. Coach Adams and I love using the slow motion analysis. It helps out so much. Excuse me. And there are just a few things I wanted to point out. And basically, what I do with these videos when I send them, try to, as much as possible, practice the movements that I'm talking about. Okay, because a lot of the times when we're diagnosing problems in the swing or just little things in the swing, it is because our movement, the way we've learned how to move in our swing, isn't as efficient as it should be. Okay, you're an athletic kid, and honestly, your swing is pretty good, and you've probably gotten by with it and done pretty well with it. But long-term progress, and looking at this, 4 or 5 years from now, if you can learn to move just a little better in your swing, that's the kind of stuff that'll help out in the long run. So that's my goal here in the early going, is just to help you just do some of these movements a little bit more efficiently. So here you are at the start, here you are at landing, and here you are at contact. And those are basically the 3 frames that I saved and broke this down to. So the first thing, we talked about this forward move, this concept of the forward move in your swing. Pay attention to your front foot. I got it here boxed off. We're going to slowly move through. And what you like to do is what they call a toe tap. So you bring your foot back, and then you bring it forward, and I'm okay with that. There's nothing that warrants any type of change. But look at, you really don't gain that much forward momentum. Okay, so if your box is where your foot started, and that's where your foot finished, right here where my laser pointer is, that's really not a whole lot of momentum. And as you can see, I can tell that your foot hasn't gained a lot of ground because look at your back leg. If I draw a line on your back leg here, that back leg angle isn't as much of an angle as it should be. Okay, we really want to see more of an angle back this way. Okay, so a little bit more of a forward move. The angle of your foot should be a little bit more this way as well. And I'm willing to bet the reason why your foot didn't land at that angle to begin with is because if you go back to the start, look how your feet are arranged. Okay, let me draw a line here for you. If I were to draw a line from this toe, and we talked about this, all the way up, okay, I know by looking at this your front foot is not in line with your back foot. Okay, you're already closing yourself off. Okay, and that's not how you want to approach that. All right, so remember, keep your toes and heels lined up and pointed directly into the other batter's box. All right, so you have to start right. Everything has to begin right for us to move better. Okay, so those are the first 2 things: getting set up right and a little bit more of a forward move. And as I move forward here in the swing, there's your toe tap. Again, I'm okay with that right now, not a big deal. If you had a better start where your toes and heels were both lined up, so if these 2 toes were lined up and these 2 heels were lined up, I think what would happen is that front foot would land at a better angle. Okay, and then in turn, this back leg would be at a better angle. It'd be back in here. And what that back leg angle does is stores up all this tension for this next part of our swing through your midsection here. Okay, and this is where all the turning takes place, because this is the next part of your swing, is the turn. And we talked about getting the belly button or the belt buckle of your pants going. And if you don't have a lot of tension stored up in there and a lot of power, so to speak, the turn isn't going to be as efficient. Okay, so and just getting you to move better, if we have a better back leg angle or more of a forward move to make a better angle in our back leg, this turn is going to be more explosive. So you can see how all these pieces build on each other. And now as we start to turn, you do a great job with the belt buckle and the belly button, but see how it stops? It stops right there. All right, and then your back leg takes over. Okay, and I'm fine with, you do want the back leg to turn. You want the back knee and you want this back foot to turn, but not so early in the swing. That's too early for me. Keep the belly button and that belt buckle spinning this way. I mean, we want it to spin out and curve around and head towards left field. Okay, So that back foot and that back knee are moving way too early for me. All right, and that's how I know you're not turning as efficiently and you're using way too much of your hands. I think if you focus more on the turn, all these other things in your hands will start to take care of themselves. Okay. So hopefully I'm making some sense with this in the early going. And then here you are at contact, and because you're a good athlete, you don't struggle too much at contact. Make sure you keep your eyes behind the barrel, which they are. They're pretty good. You track it pretty good. Okay, so not too bad. But again, it's just getting you to move better, Laney. You have a good swing. You have a lot of good things going for you. But we've got to get you to move a little better than what you're moving now. And it's not a big deal. There are 18-year-old varsity baseball players that I've coached that struggle with these same types of issues. And to be honest with you, I coached one a couple years ago who now is playing at Arizona State, who struggled with the same types of things. Now he never listened to me and still managed to get on scholarship, or I don't think he's on scholarship, but he's at Arizona State. But mostly because his dad coaches there. So, but nonetheless, you can overcome some of these things in your swing. It's just learning them early on. Okay. So as I go through this slow for you to finish this out, better forward move with that front foot. I think you can get a little bit more ground with that front foot. That creates more of an angle on our back leg. Don't stop turning belly button and belt buckle. Okay. Keep that thing turning. Let that back foot turn late. Okay, and we back up here and we'll draw a few lines. Okay, better back leg angle with a better forward move. Okay, and let the belly button turn. Let that belly button turn. Keep letting it turn. Don't let the back foot turn too soon, the back knee turn too soon, and keeping those eyes deep behind the barrel. Okay, so drill work, I think, before I see you again on Monday. I think you just need to keep working on that forward move, keeping that forward momentum moving towards the pitcher, and a better setup and a better batting stance with the feet to start with. Okay. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm going to send this out to you. This is Saturday when I'm making this video. I'm going to send it out to you as soon as possible so you have some time to watch it, make adjustments. But feel free to email me any questions. And I think your mom has my phone number. She can even text me. But email is probably a quicker way to go about it. Okay. Thank you so much, Laney, and I'll see you on Monday.